Hello, welcome to Flory Models Friday Roundup. This is the show where we look back over the week and see exactly what we've been up to. So from my point of view, it was all about this thing. We pushed through. I must admit, I've had a lovely time this back end of the week finishing this guy off. Really sad it's finished. I'm going to put some remove before flight tags on it. To be honest, I did the final reveal photographs and videos for it this morning. And it just needs it, doesn't it? So, and I have got tons of them, so it's not exactly as if we haven't got any to do. But generally, if I just spin around, you'll see her at the end of the show as well. But it's finished. Again, this is one of those things where I've spoken about it a lot, but I can't say it enough. If you've ever had one of those models in your stash and you're thinking, I'll get around to it one day, I'll do it one day, you know, we'll get on and it'll be great, and you just never do, for one reason or another, do it. Just throw yourself at it. Because to be honest, this particular kit I've had in my stash for technically 20 years, since it very first came out, although I sold my original one, then I got another one in. But it's one of those ones where I've heard all those little things about it. We've heard it's a nightmare, it's a fit, it's inaccurate. So you tend to think, oh, well, you know, one day. And you never get around to doing it. But I must admit, I threw myself in with this particular one and thought, right, gonna do it. It's in my stash. I've got all the bits and pieces for it now, and I want to push on with it. And then that's what I did. I literally just threw myself into it, not really knowing what we were going to get at the end of the day with it. But I have to say, stop it there. I have to say, it has been one of those builds where not a single time have I thought it's not buildable, it's a bad design or anything else like that. And I know, and I'm not going to go on my rant again and all the rest of it, but all too often you hear modelers say that things are like very poorly designed and everything else. This is that kit. This is terrible. The way that this goes together is a nightmare, you know, and you know, you could go through the arguments of the reasons why and all the rest of it. But technically this is old school. So it is that thing of two halves coming together. There is a different version of this, as we know, there's a two-seat version. That's why there's a different front end for it. So that's why it's sort of modular in its design. And it's just really going back 10 years. If you go back 15 years, this is when this kit was designed and produced and everything else like that. So it is that way. Tabs, wings this big with tabs, that's a terrible idea. Nowadays, if this was a redesign, you just know it'd either be a one-piece wing system that sort of fits it from underneath and just goes in the belly, very reminiscent to the real thing, okay, or it'd have beautiful wing spars that you slide the wings into. But this isn't, this is old school. This is just a couple of little slots, and we say little slots, they are tiny. You put the wings in and they're like this, you know, they're just flapping around like a dead duck. But you jig it up, you get the glue in there, you work it out, you put a bit of filler in, job done. And it's almost sort of quite satisfying, because actually I look at this thing now, it's on its gear and all the bits and pieces, and it's square and it's all in the right proportions and everything else like that. And sometimes that's better than having it pre-done, because if it's out of alignment and it's on some type of spar system, you need to manipulate it and to adjust it. So this way it works really well. Yes, the front end's wrong. Yes, the intakes are wrong. The engines are woeful. I'm going to forgive it. It's actually been a really, really nice kit. I thoroughly enjoyed it. And to be honest, I've really pushed on. That's why there's no vlogs at the end of the week. I just went for it and pushed through it and sat here day after day and absolutely loved every part, to the point where yesterday we got to it and it was just those final little things on there. Admittedly, the observant will know I had this upside down. So we fixed that problem and things like the pitot tubes and all those things like it. And it was a case of, yeah, it's finished and I'm really going to miss it. And I'm looking at the builds I'm doing next thinking, it's not going to be like doing the A10, because some of them that are coming up are really simple builds, some of them that are coming up are, you know, I know are going to fall together really nicely. And it was actually really nice to have a challenge. And it is, I spoke about it when I did have my little mini rant about, you know, builds and stuff, that in some ways it's nice to sit back when you finished a problem model. Not that it's been you've fought you all the way through, because let's face it, nobody likes those, but one of those ones where you can sit back and go, yeah, actually, that was fun. It fought me and I've beaten it, and now I've got this particular bird in my collection and it'll be there forever and job done. Am I going to build another one? No, never. Not this scale anyway, it's too big. But it's going to be one of those models which I'm going to look back with fondness over the years that actually was a real pleasure to do. The cockpit didn't fit, this didn't work, but actually I'm going to forgive it, everything. It's still lovely, really, really nice. And the little touches we did to it, like putting our own slime lines on, I'm really happy with how they come out now. Probably a little bit thick still, but it's just one of those things where, you know, you're working with what you've got. It means you don't have to go out and spend a fortune on aftermarket and all the rest of it. Although I have on this, but then again, I didn't just go out and buy it all in one. I've had bits of it for years and years and years. So really that was it. But as you say, we went through the motions of it. We've used the kit gear, we've upgraded that ourselves and everything through. So in some ways, I'm really disappointed it's finished. I've had a lot of fun with this one. And you guys who know I fly DCS, I fly the A10C and DCS pretty much all the time. I know this aircraft inside out from a simulation point of view, so to be working on it from an external point of view has been really, really nice. And as I said, it will sit in my collection now forevermore, and it'll be a nice build that I can look back and think, wasn't perfect, bit of a handful, but nothing that's over the top, and it went together well. And I think really that's a nice kit to do. So often you'll build Bandai and stuff which I'll put together, there's no skill involved with it, it just goes together, you know. Then you put the skill into the weathering and all the rest of it, but this was really a build point of view and a paint and weathering and everything through. The other thing that I love about this build as well is that this has not had a single clear coat on it at any point during the build. It is purely what you see is the paint. So what I've done is I've micro polished. I'm going to call it micro polishing. It's just a flush run. I went over it with a sanding stick, but literally I've sanded it and buffed it to give different effects in different areas. So things like tops of the wings is very flat, very shiny. So it is that thing. I'm trying to recreate that natural look that aircraft get. We're not talking airshow birds or warbirds and all those things. We're talking line jets where you look at them and they look shiny, especially when they're wet, obviously, but they just generally, in the sun, they look shiny if you catch them at that precise angle. So it's almost like, it's not flat, it's not like touching sandpaper, it's not like a stealth jet, it's a normal aircraft. So that's what I've tried to do this one. So by going over this one and slightly polishing everything, and it goes down to the fact of just polishing it with paper towel as well, just to get that right look, in conjunction with using sprayed, obviously, masks on this and stuff like that, we've been able to give it that, what I think is a true representation of an aircraft paint job, instead of it being an effect, i.e. satin or flat coating it afterwards. This one, no, this is what it is. This is genuine paint on here, and it's not been overcoated and gone through the motions of it. So in some ways, it's been lots of really enjoyable, nice things where I've been able to stretch my skills a little bit, test a few new ideas with it, and make our way through. And generally, I must admit, it's turned out really, really nicely. And as I said, it's going to be a shame that this one's finished, but that is it now. On with pastures new. So really what's going to happen now is I've got to edit it up. I've done a lot of editing to it. The next part you'll get of this will be Monday. You're probably going to get Monday, Wednesday and Thursday next week with this one, and then that will complete it and finish it off for this particular build. So it's going to be covering all the stuff, detailing. You know, we just did the gear in the last part. You've seen that one up there, and doing a lot of the detail work. But then we talk about obviously doing the paint work, the various things in there. The slime lines we've covered now, so it is all just the little finicky things, photo etch stuff and all the parts like that. So generally that will push that through next week, and next week I've got a bit of a mojo builder coming up for me. I'm going to do 2 builds next week, probably in a whole, not going to take long. Got the A4 Skyhawk going to do next week, probably going to roll on. I've got another quick build which will be a bit of a surprise for you, I'm going to do next week as well, probably as a 1-day build, so that'll be something quite nice to do. But generally a lot of fun, really enjoyed it. I know it's a long old build, it's going to be 20-part build by the end of this, but I wanted to show you in detail. All too often I get accused of skipping bits and stuff like that, so I thought no, we're going to show it in a whole. So that is why it's a 20-parter. Time wise, I don't know what it is, it's probably about a 12-hour video if you wanted to sit down and watch it in one. Okay, so there we go. But generally really, really enjoyed it. So anyway, this week, apart from me, you had Hans on Monday. He was doing black basing. He's done a fantastic tutorial on this one. He's gone through the motions of it. I can't remember exactly how long it was. Let me pause it. It's a 13-minute video, literally on black basing as he makes his way through it. He shows you about doing it on his Su-25 doors, because they do it on aircraft. It's a massive project, takes forever. But he does it on the doors to show you that way of modelling and techniques of actually black basing. And as I say with everything, because there does seem to be this thing now, whoa, you don't do black basing. No, I don't like it. You did black on this, that's not black basing. That was just painting it grey afterwards and all the things are going through. Black basing to me is just as good as doing pre-shading. It just depends which way you want to do it. Personally, I'm a pre-shader. I know I didn't do it on this, but this was because it was a different way of doing it. But generally, I think there's no right and wrong. If you like black basing, do black basing. Don't try and push your ideas down everyone else's throat. I don't push mine. You know, that's my point to it. It's no point saying this is better. Maybe better for you, but at the end of the day, it should be what works for you. And that's my entire sort of philosophy here at Flory Models. Don't do what I do. just give it a whirl. If it works for you, it works. And that's why I try and show you different things with every single build. Like with this one, there's no varnish on this at all. You know, there's no clear coats on this. I wanted to show you in that particular way of painting and style of it and all the rest of it. But again, as I say, try it. If it works for you. Great, fair play to you. If it doesn't, move on. Try a different technique as you make your way through. So there we go, heated black basing, and then obviously on Monday we spoke about a few things. A lot of you were asking about clear because I was talking about dipping canopies, and I was talking about how I absolutely fully endorse this stuff and love this stuff with a passion. This is the best clear coat. I'm not forcing this down you because obviously, you know, everyone's opinion. My opinion is this is the best clear coat for dipping canopies and generally working with your model. It's absolutely beautiful. This is the US version of clear, you know, but it's actually called Pledge Floor Care. Now, a lot of you jumped on YouTube saying, Christ, have you seen the price of that? It's like 20 odd quid and all the rest of it. Yeah, if you're going to pay it. Trust me, I paid £13 for this delivered to the UK, which is still a lot of money for what it is, but it is a 1 litre? Almost. 800 mil, or what's that in US? 27 fluid ounces of this stuff. But it lasts. You think, I've been using this now for over 6 months and I've used that amount. So it does last. And I dipped my canopies in it on this particular one. Obviously it didn't have a clear coat, so we didn't do it. But, you know, for general dipping canopies, spraying and all the rest of it, this is, I think, better than the original clear from back in the 90s and everything else. It just works really, really nicely. It's fine. It's hard as nails once it's dry and everything else. And it doesn't have that over waxy effect. So what I mean by that is that Johnson's Floor Care is like a wax-based product, and if it got too thick, it almost went to a waxy type of texture. This won't. The other thing that's great with this that you can do, if you want to speed things up, hit it with a warm hairdryer. It goes white and then goes crystal clear and handleable in 5 minutes. So that's the nice thing as well. You can speed up the dry time with this safely. And again, hand painting, brush painting, all the rest of it. But I know loads of people on YouTube saying, "Oh, I won't buy that, it's too expensive." Don't pay it. Don't pay those over-the-top prices. Have a look around Amazon, and one of the guys, like, sorry, I forgot your name, he posted up on YouTube a link to an Amazon dealer, and it was about 15 quid. 15 quid I still think is a good price, especially when you're paying, you know, this is 80 mil of it, and it is better, I'll be honest, than, where is it? The old Goozy stuff. The Goozy agent, you know, you think you're paying, I don't know how much for that, 350 for that. So the maths works, okay? So definitely give it a look, have a look at it, and go from it literally like that. Right, on Tuesday, what did we do Tuesday? Tuesday was all about the A10. So on that, we was talking about the post shading of this one. So actually we went around afterwards and we started to do the colour work. We speak about that. We spoke about, obviously I used 3 colours on this one. I used light ghost grey, dark ghost grey, and internal grey for doing it, and we mixed in a little bit of gunship grey into all those mixes just to change the hue. You're almost trying to change the shade of the paint, not the colour of the paint, to give you that sort of weathered look that we've done on this one. And all you're trying to do is, if I show you on the underside, looks even better, is weather this guy down. Okay, so you're trying to sort of weather it into a situation where it's all looking different. Okay, so you've just got those different natural shades of it, and I think by using the original colours and just adjusting them, it's a more natural overlook to it than it looking really, really patchy. If you want to go for that high contrast look, then obviously you can go with different colours, but for me, I like to do it sort of, you know, all using the original colours. So on light ghost grey, I used dark ghost grey. So underneath, we went round with dark ghost grey to sort of do the panel lines and sort of accentuate shading, shadowing, things like that right the way through. So we did that one, and then to be honest, this just had a whole coat everywhere of the dark dirt wash, literally right the way over it, on and off, usual thing. But the difference is I sanded it off. So instead of actually wiping it off with a wet tissue, I tend to do it a lot these days. I physically sanded the actual wash off of the model. So you use a very dull sanding sponge and just give it a light rub, and that way you can give great texture and great effect. And that is the first stage of what we did to get this polished look to the paintwork as we make our way through that one. So that was Tuesday, up there like that. On Wednesday, because we were really busy, we had the next part of this one up. So that was part, what is it? It's part 13. This particular one went up there, and again we spoke about using post shading again, and we did the scratch building of the formation lights, the slime lines on this one, because again they're made of PVA tape onto it, and then we went through about super detailing the gear. So the undercarriage we went through, showed about painting, weathering them up, and then also about actually putting on the brake lines and the hydraulic hoses all to it and all those things. Basically working with fly tie as I use, you know, or you could use lead wire and stuff like that. So those types of things. So we spoke about that one. Also, because it was a busy day, Steve was up as well, and he did his part 1 of working with oil paints. Now Steve's done an absolute blinder on this. He's getting used to his camera now and all the little quirky things. We're getting rid of all the little bits, okay, and he's done a great tutorial about actually working with oils, which on this type of aircraft, because obviously he's doing it on the same thing, it's great because I just use clay wash and rub it off and on the way I'm done. But Steve's done it completely different, and he's gone in there with actually oils and different shades and hues and all the bits as he makes his way around the entire model to show you a different way of doing it. And that's what we're saying. There is no right and wrong with this hobby. It's just different ways to get in the results which you prefer. Steve prefers doing it that way. That's why he does it that way. So he's done part 1 of that. As non-members, you can watch that as well, but you have to go over to the Flory model site to see it. So if you do want to go over there, go onto the Today page, go to Wednesday, what date was that? The 15th of March, and you can watch it down in there. And I think it's around about a half-hour video. It might be a little bit longer on that one as he makes his way through. So that's part 1 of that, and part 2 appeared later on in the week. And yesterday we had this TIE Strike Fighter, which I call it a TIE Strike Fighter. Technically it's not a fighter, it's a TIE Strike, which if you have a look at the review, you can see how big this thing is. It's twice the size of a TIE Fighter and about a third bigger than a TIE Advance or a TIE Interceptor. It's a big lump, this thing. It's not small. Again, like I said in the review, if you blink, you will miss it. It's as simple as that. It's one of those things where it's briefly seen in the film, so now they've made a kit on it and probably more of it. It's a great looking aircraft. It's Bandai. It's beautiful. I'm going to build it at some point, so it's really nice to see something like that to make its way through. So if you want to see that review, that is up with you right now. So what we're going to do now is Steve has done his little roundup of what he's been doing all week, so let's see what he's been doing.
Hi everyone, my name's Steve Sutcliffe. This is just my weekly vlog, just to let you know what I've been up to and whether I've bought anything, things like that. So to be honest, this week I haven't been at the bench that much. Done a lot of work on the A10, which I'll get to in a moment, but I'll hold my hands up. I've been playing Ghost Recon on the PlayStation. Absolutely love that game. It's fantastic fun. So much to do and really challenging. So if there's any of you out there who play Ghost Recon on the PS4 and you fancy teaming up, let us know and we'll get a little squad going. Right, so new kit. I have splashed out on a kit that I've been wanting for a long time, and it's the Miniat US Armoured Bulldozer. I don't know, I just love bulldozers and all these plant machines that the military use. So I've done the Meng D9R. I did that as the Israeli one, but I do want to do it as an American version one day. But for the time being, I bought this. If you haven't built a Miniat kit, they're absolutely fantastic. Level of detail is second to none. The plastic's excellent. So yeah, I look forward to building that. Right, so the main thing I've been concentrating on this week is getting my A10 finished off. As you'll have seen this week, in fact it was yesterday, Phil put up, well I'm recording this Thursday, so it would have been yesterday. I've done 2 videos on oil paints and how you can use it in different ways for weathering. So one way showed you where it's used loads of white spirits to get that wash and a kind of an overall filter kind of thing over the model, get it nice and grimy and dirty. And the second is where you don't use hardly any white spirit and you actually work the oil paint into the surface of your model. This is really good because you can kind of put little tints of different colours in there, add shadows, add depth, and it breaks. Because the A10, if you think, or a lot of military vehicles are just one colour, and you want to add interest into that paintwork, and the only really good way of doing it is by breaking up each panel, adding little, for example, if it's grey, you think, right, I just add a little hint of blue or maybe a touch a white to lighten it, or you could add kind of a darky, maybe a black brown colour to add a bit of depth to the panel, make it a bit darker and so on. So there's loads of different ways you can do it. So that's what I've been trying to show, how I go about doing it the easy way. So my techniques I do, I've practiced loads over the years and I always go for the easiest option. I'm not one of these that goes into these super difficult, long-winded techniques that, you know, take you hours where you can do the same effect in half the time. You know, show them the easy option, I'll take it. So the A10 at the moment is looking like this. Hopefully it'll start showing up how all the different shading, how that's looking. Yeah, it's getting there. It's had its flat coat on now, so it's nice and flat. See all the shading coming through. Just move a bit closer on that. It's got nice griminess all over the engines. So yeah, we're getting there. I'm just sorting out now the fluorescent ID marker thingy bobs, whatever you call them. Just looking a bit too yellow at the moment, so I might just lighten them up ever so slightly. But yeah, I've just got to basically now finish off the cockpit area, put all the undercarriage on, and then add all the weapon stores and she'll be done. But absolutely loving this build. It's been really good fun doing all the weathering and breaking it up a bit. So hopefully, if Phil takes this to Telford this year, we'll get them side by side so you can see both of ours and see how our different approaches, you know, because I've done my weathering different to his, and it'd be nice to see them both together as a comparison so you can say, oh well, that worked on his, I wouldn't mind trying that, because it's, you know, you can have a look at both of them. So yeah, quite chuffed with the way it's coming out actually, considering people said it's a real awful kit, and it doesn't go together and you got to have a nightmare and stuff like that. To be honest, I've had not many problems with it. You know, as a modeler, we should just get through it instead of being an assembler. But we will go down that route. I'll get a shot. Right, and also it's that time of year again where I'm just thinking about what my big armour build for the summer's got to be. Every year I like to think, right, I've got to build one big project that keeps me going most of the summer. Now, last year I built the Kitform Services Humber Pig, wasn't it? I think it's Humber Pig, yeah. Which being 1/24 scale, it comes with a fully detailed interior, engine, an amazing kit, and it took a long time to build with it being multimedia. Previous years I've built the M1070 tank transport, that's a Hobby Bus one. I've built the Accurate Armour Antar transporter as well. So I need to think what I'm going to build this year. Now, the options really open to me. I've got the British M1070 transporter from Accurate Armour, and then I'd obviously stick some on the trailer, whether it be a Challenger or, yeah, I think I'd probably put a Challenger on it actually. So that's one option. I've also got the option, I have got another Antarctica build which was slightly different to the last one I built, and obviously again for a load probably put a Chieftain on the back. So that's another build that I'm thinking of doing. What else have we got? We've got the Kitform Services FV43. Is it 432 or 434? But it's 1/24 scale. It's the engineering one, fully detailed as you can expect from Kitform Services. Got an engine to build. You know, it will be a stunning model. Then again, I've got Accurate Armour Ford and Drops truck, which is the 8x8 truck which I've got a resin ISO container to stick on the back. I've got another tank transporter in there, which I'm going to be doing. It's from World War II, and it'd be Australian markings, as well as the load, which will be an amphibious vehicle, LVT. I'm going to put on the back both Australian markings, the camouflage patterns that match. So yeah, so I need to think what I'm going to build. So I think what I may do is I'll put it up on the forum and let you guys decide for me. Obviously I'm going to do a full video build on it. It will take in quite a few parts because there will be a lot of work involved in whichever option I go for. It'd be nice for you guys to say, yeah, I would love to see you build this. Every one of them I want to build. I can't wait to build them, but it's, you know, that way you keep looking at them and thinking, oh, my building, oh, but what about that one? But then again, I've got this one, and you just can't make your mind up what you want to build. So I've got some really good options, and like I say, it will take most of the summer to do. And then I always like to build one right over the summer and then take it to Telford in November. So I'll get that up on the forum, and I would really appreciate it if you could just take your time out, have a look at them all, see which one you fancy, and we'll get that done. So that's been about it really this week. Like I say, been quiet, mainly the A10. Next week I'm definitely got to start on the converting, well, basically the US Army World War II petrol tanker, and I'm going to make it a civilian US one with some, I've got them here actually. Ron has kindly done me a set of mask stencils to put on there. Luckily you can't see what it is. I won't tell you what it is yet. It's for an American petrol company, and so I've got to take it from a military and turn it into a civilian one. So it should be good fun. I quite like the markings. I'm going to go for it so it's the end of its life. That nice patina on the paintwork with nice fading, rust coming through, prime coming through. Maybe where they've changed the fender because they've lost one and just stuck any old one on there, so maybe put the different colour one. Yeah, really faded, make it nice and warm. So yeah, looking forward to doing that. It should be good fun. Really looking forward to the weather inside of it. Try new things out probably. So yeah, so that's been my week. So thanks for all the nice feedback on the videos. I'm glad you appreciate the image quality that's gone up. I think I might finally got it sorted on the settings and all that. Oh, one more thing. I know it's a bit cluttered in here. I've actually ordered a new tool chest because it's just getting to the stage where I haven't got room to put everything. So hopefully when these arrive, hopefully next week or the week after, get everything, you know, all nicely stashed away, make everything, basically declutter the whole place and give it a good tidy. So yeah, right, I won't waffle anymore, and I'll catch you soon, guys.
So well done, Steve. Great job on that one. Hopefully he'll be pushing along with his very nicely and giving us great more. And as I say, he's getting a real taste for doing the videos now, which I must admit, when you start doing them, it's very, very daunting. And you're like, in front of the camera and all the rest of it, and you just don't know what to say. Once you sort of forget about it and you're talking like it's your friend in the room, it comes a lot more natural. And I know Hans and Steve are both sort of in that zone now, so they're getting up with it. So Steve's actually now going to be doing a full video build for us for his next one as well. So if you do want to do, I'm sure he will post up in the forum his little poll for exactly what he wants to see you do, or you want to see him do, and you can work your way with that. With all of us now, you might notice as well in the forum we got a new section, he says, quickly whipping over to it, which we have where it used to be we did the video areas when we used to do live broadcasting, and we did all the various things like that. So actually what we have now is the follow along and talk with the Flory team. Nice name, Hans. I didn't realise he called it that. So anyway, you've got Hans's area now, Phil's area and Steve's area. Okay, now the reason we've done this one is obviously us three tend to do all the video builds and the various photo things as well as the live stuff. So what we actually have now, we all have a video area, we all have a photo build area, not so much for me admittedly, tutorials and Q&As. So where we used to just have Ask the Team and you could ask us various questions direct and we do videos for you and all that direct back, you can ask us individually. It's just a way of doing it. Now if you go to mine for instance, you'll see I've started migrating a lot of my builds which originally weren't on the forum over to the forum as well. So in there, if you go into videos, and I'm just making sure it's all here, you will see that all the live stream stuff I've done, 1 day builds, stuff like that, they are now on the forum as well, so you can then comment and do all the bits in there. They're in this area, but also the A10 is in there as well, so if you want to comment as I make my way through the build, you can do that in amongst that. So it's an easier way of answering questions and you asking questions in one area, so it keeps it more concise. So when the guys start doing theirs as well, that's where they're going to appear as well as on the main site as well. Okay, but what I'm trying to do recently is sort of integrate myself more into the forum than I have been in previous years, so I get a better sort of response and I can answer questions directly in the right area, because as I say, when you're getting 150 emails a day, it's getting a little bit all over the place. So by me being in the forum, I can answer you forum guys quicker, faster and more effectively than I do if it's just a normal one. Okay, and through the contact me. So that's my plan with that one. In there as well, I've got the FW190 I've put in there as well, so you can see that full build that's in there and a few of the other little bits and pieces. But I'm going to migrate pretty much everything we've done, maybe even the oldest stuff that isn't available, because in the forum I think we'll get away with it, into there as well. So some of those really early builds from early 2000s will be in there as well. Okay, so there is that area. Generally, just in the comments that we've had this week, just going around the social media things and that, Crazy Major says, where do you get your kits in the UK without selling a kidney? Pretty much, you're talking about the Bandai stuff, I take it. From that point of view, I go direct. Go to direct to eBay in Japan and buy it there. To be honest, I've got the ATAC coming hopefully next week, because Bandai have just, or about to release on the 31st, the ATAC. I've pre-ordered it through my supplier, which if you PM me, I will send you their address for them. Really, really good. I've never been caught by customs by them either, which is touch wood. I've said it live on air now, I'm proud to. But generally, they're very fast service. So that kit will be released on the 31st. I can guarantee I'll get it here within a week and be good to go. And as for pricing wise, I never pay over the odds. I pay less going direct than I do in the UK for kits. Okay, but all you do is go to eBay in Japan, or just do your country search and go international sellers and then find one over there. So you can do that. And I must admit, we don't know what it is. The other one as well, which is quite a good one, is hobbytopia.net. Okay, that's another one that I use as well, which I've just got that bit of paper there in front of me. But if you have a look around on eBay, you will see them. Again, like I said with the pledge, with the floor care, don't pay over the odds. People complain about the price of kits and all the rest of it. Don't pay it. If you don't want to pay it, don't pay it. Don't be forced into it. Have a look around. You will see they will drop down in price over time. And if you have a proper look around, you can find them at a good price as well. So like for instance, this guy, I can't remember how many he was, but I had it on pre-order and I paid less than I've seen it everywhere else now, and things like that. And so I've got a couple of other Star Wars over. They've got the Shore Trooper still to review and a few others that all got released around about Christmas time. They all got released, I think it was January the 1st. They were here within the first week, so that was pretty good as well. It's big. You think it need a tail gunner? Totally agree there, Scott. Should do. Right, okay, what else have we got? Just seeing if we've got some good questions down in here. Sorry for that, I put the wrong size up for that one. I called it 1/12, and a lot of you saying you need to build that in the back garden. Yep, that's me. Right. Okay, I'm just trying to see. There was a couple of good little questions in here I did want to answer. Right. Lee was saying, would I consider doing F105? Yes, definitely. I must admit, I do obviously Century Series loads of jets. Line of jets. I love doing all of that one. David saying that is stunning. I presume you remember this one. Do you dare sand off the wash on top of decals? Or do you do it with a cloth? Yeah, being careful, literally very, very careful. When you're sanding, you've got to be careful as well. I did a full video a while ago. You can still see it, it's around. If you go to Flory model sanding page, for the sales, it's at the top, big one, and I teach you how to sand. And I know it sounds really silly and it's like sucking eggs. Honestly, I don't trying to sound patronizing. It's just that I've had probably, without an exaggeration, 50 people mention me how their sanding is improved after watching that, because I teach you don't push on the sander. Let the sander do all the work. It's the same for when you're sanding paintwork. You can use and I am using a medium grit to sand paint. You think you go through to the paintwork, but you won't, because you let the sander do the work. So you literally just stroking it across the actual paintwork instead of pushing it, because if you're pushing, you're actually causing pressure and you're digging into the surface of the paint where actually you're trying to rip through it, which is fine if you're trying to take plastic away, but when you're polishing anything else, like seam lines on the surface as well, just let the sander do all the work. That way as well, you won't overheat the plastic, which then doesn't soften the plastic and create sink marks into where the glue line was. Because sometimes if you use the weld action glue, what can happen is it feels dry and you think it's dry, then you sand it 20 minutes later, it's not dry, okay, and then you could generate heat, and you generate a lot of heat, and that causes worse sink marks. So if you always got this thing where you do your model and it looks absolutely fantastic and there's no sink marks down the seam line, down the spine, yet 6 months later you look at it, you've got a big seam mark, chances are it's because the glue is still soft and going off. The other thing it could be is you've overheated it during sanding and it's softened the plastic and it shrinks back as well. So just be mindful of that one. What else we got? I'm just seeing anyone else. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. Bill was saying, just looked up from it, clear on the pledge clear, or care is what you're after, 23 quid on eBay. Again, look around. I've seen it on Amazon, and that's where I got mine from, which arrived here. It took about 10 days to get it. It wasn't the quickest, but I only paid £13 for it, and I've seen them on there since for around about £15, and I know a lot of our members have done it as well, so you can do it that way. But it's just, again, just don't pay over the odds. There's people out there who'd love to sting you with lots of charges of money and stuff like that. So if you avoid it, you'll be absolutely fine. A couple of things starting next week. We do have to mention, quickly going back in here to do it, we've got the egg build starting. Yes, it's that time of the year again where it's the usual fun and games as we make our through this one. So this one is going to start on the 18th of March. Obviously it's going to start tomorrow. I've got to open this one because Hans is away. He's now enjoying it around Hawaii. Jeremy Git. So anyway, we got that one started. That's going to run to the 16th of April. So it's just a 1 month fun. So in this time we're allowing all the little cute stuff as well. Meng are doing the little World of Tanks stuff. I think they're all allowed in this time and everything else. So it doesn't technically have to be an egg plane. You can have a tank cutie thing. It's all those little dinky things. No prizes, no medals, no nothing for it. It's just a bit of fun and go through that one. Right, so just to bring you up to speed, you've still got till the 21st of May for the warts and all. Done mine. Well, I finished one at last. Is done. So we've got that going. We've got 91 entries into that one. So get going with those guys. The Fire at Will, the I Must Be German group build that's going on at the moment, you've got till the 2nd of July on that one. We've currently got 275 entered into that one, so good going with that one, guys. Obviously, we've got the egg one starting 18th, running to the 16th of April. And then the next one up for the AFV guys for the armoured fighting vehicles is the Meng the Merciless, or Ming the Merciless, depending where you are in the world. It's going to run from April the 1st to the 23rd of July. Okay, so you've got plenty of time on that one as well. It's going to be one of those, anything that's by Ming, anything whatsoever. It doesn't matter if it's they do a lot of 72nd, 48th scale stuff as well, aircraft, but it's mainly going to be sort of armour for this one. Okay, so it's technically an armour build, so you can't do aircraft, alright? So it's literally armour fighting vehicles in there by Ming. Go for your life, okay? So that is that one as we make our way through, and there we go. Pretty good. So, still up with you today, you've got, what are we doing, this one. This is the Ryfield, which I must admit, I haven't looked at a Ryfield kit before, and I'm very, very impressed. Couple of little things. I think the sprues are a little bit busy, shall we say. They like to get their money's worth on a sprue. But in here you can see there's lots of other versions of Tigers coming out there as well. But the beautiful thing is, a bit like the King Tiger last week, this thing has got a full interior to it and it looks beautifully done. Very, very nice. It's going to be one of those things. It's not shake and bake as like armour can be. This is a lot of internal detail in this one. So I think by the time, obviously, you've done all the interior and the external, that makes it into a super build. Absolutely fantastic. fantastic. But again, it's the first time I've looked at their kits. Extremely impressed to see them coming right out of the gate. Monday, you'll probably get this one up as well. To be honest, I have done the review of it at last, the Tempest Mark V. It's just that one went up yesterday. It should have been that one, but I hadn't quite finished doing the editing on the actual Tempest yet. So that's why the Striker went up yesterday instead of the Tempest. And then Tempest, I will put up with you on Monday. Next week, just to let you know, there's going to be loads of different changes starting to happen here to the site. As you know, as of the 1st of April, we've got the new pricing structure coming in. So if you are thinking about buying washes, sandals or pigments, do it now because the price is going up between 15 to 20% across the board on all Flory Models products. And obviously, if you want to subscribe and you want to save yourself a bit of money, do that quickly as well, because the price is going up from £3 a month to £4 a month as of the 1st of April. But then as of 1st of April, you can do yearly as well. But what we're going to do, and it'll be starting next week, we'll be inviting members, if you want to, that you can transfer over to yearly subscriptions. But again, because we've got thousands and thousands of members, I don't want to do this in one lump. So what we're going to do is do an invite to obviously the members who want to go from, at the moment, monthly subscription to yearly to subscription. If you email us, what we'll do is we will then put you onto a list and we will contact you with all the details of how to go from technically monthly to annual subscription, and obviously you save yourself a bit of money doing it that way as well. Okay, so because obviously it's only going to be £40 for the year under the new way of doing it, so it's only going up by £8 a year. All right, so that's about it from me. Thank you for everyone for watching. Thank you to Steve and Hans as well for some great videos this week. Hans will be back next week as well after his little mini break over in the Hawaiian Islands. We're not just, yes we are, really, and everything else like that. So there we go. See you all on Monday, guys. Happy modelling, take care, and I'm going to leave you with all your great work.
Calling you over, my head on your shoulder. Familiar faces prolong the embraces. We were always on for the breakaway, but we're nearing chances to wake the day.